What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to YGOPD, your Yu-Gi-Oh! Professional Development, and today I have something pretty cool I've been working on. I'm sure you could show by the title. A lot of people continue to ask me for updated variants of Kashtira Sword Soul. I think that deck is really good, and I've been slowly working on that, but I wanted to wait because I've been kind of testing this. This is Kashtira with the Earthbound stuff. I know a lot of people have been hyping up Earthbound Runic as another deck. I've tried all the variants, and to me, this just feels like the best one. If you want the quick and dirty reason, it is just because when you see one of those engines by itself, and particularly being Earthbound's not that great right now by itself, it's going to need some more stuff to get there. I'd rather play just Cash than just sitting on Runic and hoping I can eventually play the game. Cash applies more pressure, you still get a battle phase, all that kind of good stuff. So Kashtira Earthbound I think is the better and more consistent version, unless you want to add other things. If you want a Runic variant, I still think Runic Naturia is still good and worth exploring. That's kind of something I've wanted to check out. But regardless, this is Kashtira with Earthbound. Took this to a quick locals, smaller one during the week. Just wanted to get some testing in to this lull format in between Phantom Nightmare for like 1 to 2 weeks. Went 2-1, wasn't too bad with it. Only loss was to Fire King. Also beat Rescue Ace 2-0 and Chimera, I think 2-1 as well. So overall, still not a bad deck. That's kind of what I like about this. If you don't see the Earthbounds or you do get stopped, you're still just playing Cash. And right now, Cash is just good enough. So yeah, without further ado, I'll go ahead and hop into the main deck, the extra deck, and then showcase a quick combo of how the deck can function. Okay, so let me get this situated here. For the Kashtira stuff, we are on 3 Fenrir. Sorry for no face cam today. OBS has been a little bit weird sensing all of my sources at once, and the way I've been able to kind of get it to really see everything okay, after now apparently everything being crooked as well, is just to turn off like one of the sources, and now it's fixing itself. So I'll have to mess with that. But for the Cash stuff, it's pretty straightforward. If you've seen my Cash Sword Soul variants, the concept is almost identical. 3 Fenrir, 3 Unicorn. These are both necessary starters for the Earthbound Kashtira combos. You essentially need either Fenrir or Unicorn or a way to them. Each one of these put 2 level 7 bodies on the board by themselves without locking you into anything, and that's all you really need to know. Unicorn gets birth to then replace itself. Fenrir gets Scareclaw Kashtira to again replace itself. So that's really all you need to know about it for that. And then for the rest of the names, we're just on one of each of Scarecash, Tear Cash, and Rise Heart. You could play more, you could play less. I don't think you really need to in testing. I was originally on 1 and 1, and there were a lot of times where I just wanted that extra name or body to push, play through stuff, get the extra extender. So all of these are fine. I think it's really, really good as is. And then, of course, we are back to 3 Planet. Shout out to my friend Alex for beating me in the final round of the locals, but also hooking me up with my 3rd planet. So it was really, really fitting there. 1 Terraforming, and then just 1 Birth and 1 Theosis. That's really all you need right now, right? In the upcoming format, if you're playing Cash anything, Birth is probably one of the best cards that's going to be in existence, just because it's a soul release that does like a ton of extra things. Also, banishing them face down is really, really powerful. So that's it for the Cash stuff. Pretty straightforward. Sorry if you hear a train glaring in the background there. After that, we are on the Earthbound stuff. So I'll talk a little bit about how these work. They all kind of end up locking you into just synchro or fusion stuff for the rest of the turn. There we go. So 3 Stone Sweeper. This is a discard to add any Earthbound from your deck to your hand. It's level, I believe, 3 or lower. So you're just getting your main starter. So this is just an extra 3 copies of your starter, as well as a free body / extender. If you have a field spell on the board, it can just special itself. The main one you're wanting to see is Groundskeeper. This is the level 1 tuner and the best starter. Spits out a level 5 Earthbound from grave or deck. That's very important. And again, locks you into synchros and fusions for the remainder of the turn. And then for the last cards here, just 1 of the Line Walker and 1 of the Harmonic Synchro Fusion. These are the quote-unquote bricks of the engine. Line Walker is essentially on summon, adds the field spell, which we don't play. You don't really need it in this variant. I think in Chimera you do. or adds the Harmonic Synchro Fusion. This can also add from either deck or grave as well. And then this just sends 2 applicable monsters to the graveyard and then summons a fusion material, or sorry, a fusion monster and a synchro monster that can both be legally summoned using those materials. The unfortunate thing is, even though this is Harmonic Synchro Fusion, it doesn't actually synchro summon or fusion summon them. It special summons them. So I was originally testing Chimeric Runic with this, just because Sleipnir is a beast, but it's not treated as a fusion summon, so your stuff don't get their effects, which is kind of trash. So that's also kind of why I leaned more towards the cash build, is you're not getting the full value of those kinds of things. So that's pretty much it for the Earthbound stuff. The main combo is going to be seeing any way to the level 1 plus any way to either Fenrir or Unicorn. I'll get into that a little bit later. And then the rest of the deck is just literally whatever you want. And I guess just 1/1-for-1 was in here for the Earthbound stuff. So an extra starter, right? But then, yeah, the rest of the deck is non-engine. You could do whatever you want with it. So for me, I am on 3 Ash Blossom. I'll kind of talk about this. It's pretty straightforward, I think. There we go. I'm moving stuff backwards as I kind of look through on my screen. So 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, and 3 Droll. This is just the standard 9. I think that's perfectly fine right now to tool around with. Obviously, when Phantom Nightmare hits, things will change a little bit. Bell might come back into the format, things like that. And then just the 1 called by. So that's kind of 9 quick, easy non-engine slots. And now you have 6 that you can play around with to do whatever you want. I'll show you what I'm doing. I am doing the Horus, but I'll give you a few alternatives because you don't need this. So I originally wanted just something extra to be like, hey, I want more pressure, but I want something different than just more cash names. I also want something that can also deal with like awkward hands, or if you open the 1 of level 3, since the level 1 can't special from the hand, I need a way to get it into the grave. And the Horus was just the cards that check those boxes, right? 3 Seti, 1 Happy, and then 2 King Sark. This could be whatever you want. This could just be 6 more hand traps, could be talents, could be thrust, could be anything. The other alternative I was personally testing were just 3 Prosperity and then 1 each of the Centurion package, because you can just Centurion lock on top of the full combo that I'll explain a little bit later, but you could just do 1 stand-up, 1 Shrudea, and 1 Primera. It's pretty easy way to do it, but I'll talk a bit about the combo when that actually gets there and kind of just add that on as a way that you could bridge into it if you want. But again, you don't want any extra bricks in this deck because cash is already not super consistent, and adding an engine even with very few bricks still can kind of hurt sometimes. So it's just up to you. The nice thing about playing cash with this is you're really only resolving the Harmonic Synchro Fusion like once. So the extra deck is very flexible in terms of what you can do. You only need a small package for the Earthbound stuff, and then you can really just toolbox it to whatever you want. So for the synchro stuff, I guess I'll talk about it kind of specifically. Is Baron is what you're doing with your main combo. You start with that level 3, and then your level 7 cash name of choice, make this, and then do the rest of your actual combo. But it's really good that this deck, the main part of the combo, always just leads with a Baron as part of it, is just nice. So that's one reason why this deck feels really, really good right now, is you're insulated, right? 1 Ravenous Crocoddragon. This could be Shen if you don't care about like doing other different combo stuff or searching other pieces. Since I'm playing the Horus stuff and the Synchro Fusion and different things like that, a lot of this does actually utilize the graveyard some. So if you want to avoid that conflict, you should use the Crocoddragon. If you don't care and want to do a different approach, Shen is just a better go-to. And unfortunately, no, this does not get the draw off Harmonic Synchro Fusion because it's when it's Synchro Summoned. Still an interrupt, but just this is a 9 of choice, whichever one you want as part of the combo. The other cards that we pair with it here are 1 of the Servant Geo Griffin. This is again one that you go into as part of the combo. You start synchro climbing with your second 7. This is essentially a monster reborn for any Earthbound in your graveyard. And then 1 of the Geo Kraken. This is like a custom card. I don't know if I kind of want to talk about this card a lot. If you've not read this is kind of why I became obsessed with finding a way to use this in some way. This does so many things. On summon first, by the way, this adds any field spell in the game from your grave or your deck to your hand. So that's how the Centurion stuff works, is you just add it, do whatever you want, and then do more Centurion stuff after. You can also add a planet for follow-up. You could do Secret Village and end on Big Eye. You can, if you make Big Eye right before you do any of this stuff, if you have enough extenders or whatever. But The fact that it searches any field spell already on summon is crazy, but its second effect is even better. It's if your opponent special summons, I believe, a monster from the extra deck, you destroy as many special summon monsters on your opponent's board as possible, I believe, either in total or solely from the extra deck. I'm not exactly sure, but then they take 800 damage for each one popped. So it's a burn card that does stuff in time. It's an extender. It searches field spells. Just does everything. I know I'm pretty long-winded about it, but it's really good. The reason to play Earthbound is this card, and that's pretty much it. And then one of Geo Gremlin. This is the last Earthbound name we're playing. You could play the other level 6 fusion. I was testing that. Not too great. This card is like almost good. Has a quick effect to target a monster your opponent controls, and then you either destroy it or gain life points equal to its attack. The problem is your opponent chooses which of those things happen, which is really annoying. But the second effect is not bad. It's during the battle phase, you can fusion summon an Earthbound using stuff from, I believe, field or grave. It might be hand too, but I'm pretty sure it's just field or grave. So you can make this mid-battle phase. It's more meant to set up for the big guy, I think, on turn 3. But you need this because if you just open Earthbound, you need something to do because you're going to get locked, right, into synchros and fusions. So this makes this searches this, and then you can kind of do whatever you want from there with cash later on if they pop stuff or you just have follow-up, right? And then the links, 1 Heat Soul, 1 Crystal Heart. We are playing the double Link Spider package. You don't have to do this. Again, there's just space here. I am proxying one of the Link Spiders. My friend Cody, shout out to him, let me borrow one of the Link Spiders for the event. And then for the rest of the links, we just have 1 Donner and 1 SP. This could truly be anything. Again, cash carries so much of the weight of this deck. You don't need SP, you don't need Horus, you don't need any of that. You could just make this cash Earthbound with just more utility stuff. Donner is interesting. It comes up a fair amount to have weird situations where, like, you might summon, like, you have like Unicorn, Fenrir, and then an Earthbound starter, and then you summon one of your cash names, summon your Earthbound, and then that gets hit with a hand trap. Normally you would just pass, but at the very least this gives you something to make going second. You could then pop a card on your opponent's board and then summon like the Unicorn or the Fenrir, whichever one you kept, and then continue to play. So it's definitely not bad. I think it comes up enough that it's worth considering. 1 Link Karibo, this could be Anima too if you want. And then for the Horus stuff, Photon Lord could be Zombie Vampire. I typically only use Photon Lord here. I don't want to risk just milling because the engines aren't like super big for each one, but you could play it if you want as just an extender. I just don't like the gambling aspect in this deck in particular. And then the rest of the XCs are pretty straightforward. 1 Shangri-Ira, 1 Draco Sack as just general utility and part of the Heat Soul combo, and then 1 Dark Arm, probably just the best generic rank 7 that we kind of have right now to mess with. So that's it for the main and extra, a clean 40 cards. I'll go ahead and cut for a second and showcase a quick combo. Okay, I'll go ahead and showcase the combo right now. Just again, as a quick note, it all revolves around getting away to the Earthbound starter. So it's either the level 1, 1-for-1, or Stone Sweeper, and then one of the cash starters, which in this case, you have 10 of them, 3 Unicorn, 3 Fenrir, 1 Planet, and then the 1 Terraforming. Any combination of these, get it. If you have Unicorn, your goal is Birth. If you have Fenrir, your goal is Scare Cash. So I'll just go ahead and showcase it using the Fenrir and the Scare Cash. Sell this off to the side, and then we'll go ahead and just take a quick look. So what you'll do is you'll special the Fenrir, use Fenrir's effect, add Scare Cash, then you can go ahead and normal the Stone Sweeper. Stone Sweeper's effect will activate. You can go ahead and get the level 3 Earthbound from your deck or grave if you happen to pitch it earlier to the field. From there, this will trigger, and then you just search a copy of the, I'll leave that there, Harmonic Synchro Fusion. And that's really all you need to get started. So from here, what you go ahead and do is synchro the Fenrir and the Line Walker away. I'll just put them up here, over there. Yeah, a little bit tight on space here. And then we'll go ahead and just start off the combo, of course, with a copy of Baron. And then from there, you're just insulated for the rest of your combo. Then you summon Scare Cash, banish the Fenrir, put that right there. Our grave's over here. And then you don't use Harmonic Synchro Fusion yet. You actually synchro these two away to go ahead and go into a copy of your Geo Griffin. Again, I'm not really caring about Anima Zones or anything like that right now, just noting that. And this is a quick reborn for any Earthbound. If you wanted to play a card like Psychic and Punisher, you could also do that, but you don't need that. From here, you go ahead, bring back the level 1, and then you just use the Harmonic Synchro Fusion, getting rid of the 2 here, the non-tuner level 8 and the level 1 tuner. And then you can summon 2 different things from your extra deck, one a Synchro, one a Fusion that match that. So you'll get Croc, and then that is a 9 using the level 8 non-tuner and the level 1 tuner. And then the Kraken, which is just 2 Earthbound monsters. And then you can go ahead and use Kraken's effect to search any field spell on summon. So then we'll go ahead and add the planet or whatever you want, and then you just have to keep in mind that you have 3 other blanks in hand. The other way you could do it, if you're curious about the Centurion stuff, is this could just be the stand-up Centurion. You use it, discard a card, you put Trudea back here, special Trudea out, move Trudea back, put Primera back, and then special Primera out. You have then a level 4 tuner and a level 8 non-tuner. You can synchro these 2 away to go ahead and make Legacia. Legatia's effect will then give you a draw because you actually hard synchroed it. I think Legacia actually might even just be special summon. But from there, you can go ahead and go in the end phase and put Primera back. So then you still have Primera Trudea. So then on your opponent's turn, you still have a way to get 2 out using the stand-up. Make another level 12 fusion, which would be Crimson Dragon. Target the Legacia, bounce it back, and then you get Calamity. So if you're curious about the extra steps for Calamity, you could do that. Again, that engine only requires just 1 of each of the field spell, the stand-up Centurion, 1 Primera, and 1 Trudea. You do need to have, of course, the Legacia, the Calamity, and the Crimson Dragon as well in the extra deck. So it's a 3 and 3, little kind of compensating there if you're looking in terms of slots. But that's it. That's the quick and dirty version of Kashtira Earthbound. I really do like this deck. I know a lot of people have been asking for the re-exploration of Sword Soul. I am thinking about that. I wanted to take a good look, at the new support from Phantom Nightmare. Not anything in particular, but I just like seeing if there's things that overlap or mesh and kind of can still support the deck. So yeah, with all that said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later.